Hello students, here comes the fourth lecture of pheromones, and let me repeat the formalities. I am myself Indu Yadav from SPCGCA, and I am doing paper 18 animal behavior, and I am taking the topic animal communication through chemicals, and these chemicals are pheromones. This is the point 3 of unit 2. So in this lecture of Pheromones 4, I will be doing the 6th point, which is the pheromones of social insects. The pheromones of social insects fall roughly into two categories according to their function. First, those concerned with communication between conspecifics, and second, those concerned with the maintenance of the colony structure or caste system. As the topic, the heading of the topic, as you can see, it is pheromones of social insects. And the most common social insect we all know from the very childhood is the honeybee. And it is quite mesmerizing for us how do they work so efficiently in unison and produce the superfood honey for us. So these pheromones actually are responsible for their coordinated actions of the whole colony. So in these social insects, we will study their role of pheromones under two topics. First is how do they communicate through pheromones, and then second is how do they maintain the colony structure with the help of the pheromones. So let's do the first one, those concerned with communication between conspecifics. We know that many ant species lay scent trails by which they are able to find their way about. Edward O. Wilson in 1958 did some experiments with fire ants to study the role of pheromones in communication. He observed that when a worker finds food, it returns to the nest laying a trail. On encountering a fellow worker, it rushes towards it and may climb on it, apparently bringing the trail substance to its notice. The trail initially consists of a series of scent spots produced by a worker ant touching the ground with its abdomen as it runs along. Subsequently, if the trail is used by many ants, the spots which they produce may merge into a continuous streak. Wilson observed that the trail of fire ants consisted of a substance secreted in minute amounts from the edge of the abdomen by Dufour's gland. The substance leaves the ant's body through a pointed thin sting, which is touched to the ground and leaves the pheromone much like a moving pen, or it is drawn out just like toothpaste which has been squeezed from the tube. Wilson extracted pheromone from the Dufour's glands of freshly killed workers and performed several experiments to conclude that fire ants have an elaborate system of communication through chemicals. Wilson developed a colony of fire ants into a glass dish which had one opening, and with the help of extracted pheromone, he created an artificial trail with a stick. He observed that the workers were attracted from the nest. Workers followed the artificial trail in close formation. Here you can see it in the diagram. Ultimately, they gathered in the confusion at its terminus because there was no food. He proposed that the trails can be of different types, one leading to food and other may just be a routine passage, or it can be a trail of emergency exits. If an ant is attacked in a colony, it secretes alarm pheromone from mandibular or anal gland, which attracts other members of the colony that quickly reach for the rescue of conspecific. The alarm pheromone among social insects have three main functions: to alert the colony, to release aggression, and to mark the target to be attacked. If you are stung by a bee and you reflexly kill that bee, the dead stinger might invite hundreds of bees. There are alarm and distress pheromones that are released from stinging or dead bees respectively, which triggers a mass attack from the hive. All pheromones are volatile, however, the extent varies. For example, distress pheromones are very highly volatile because if this was not the case, then colonies of animals might remain in an almost continually disturbed state. However, pheromones for making trails of movement or territory are much less volatile. Worker bees are attracted to each other by a scent from Masonow's gland. This scent is dispersed by depressing the tip of the abdomen so that the gland is exposed, and sometimes the wings are vibrated too, creating an air current for better dispersion. The scent is released in various situations, viz. At the time of feeding, during formation of new hive, to mark a source of water, to mark hive for recognition, and for maintaining cohesion of swarm during flight. Some insects use the pheromones to trap the prey. The bola spider tricks male moths that are searching for mates to attract them. The spider produces a scent like that made by a female moth. As a male moth comes near, spider kills the moth and eats it. So this was all about the communication between conspecifics and the pheromones used in communication. Next comes the maintenance of the colony structure. The queen bee produces pheromones mainly from two glands which play a part in controlling the social structure of her colony. If a queen is removed from a colony, her absence is perceived immediately by the workers, who become restless. Immediately they start building emergency queen cells or royal chambers by enlarging and reshaping the existing worker cells, and larvae within them are fed royal jelly instead of bees' bread. These larvae then grow into queens. The queen which comes out first of all locates sister queens with the help of pheromones and sting them to death before they even emerge. In the presence of queen, its behavior of workers of building new royal chambers is kept in check by a pheromone produced by her mandibular gland. Like honeybees, the queen of certain vespine wasps, who are also social but live in smaller colonies, produce pheromones that maintain the stability of the colony. The differentiation and the number of a particular caste in termites is also regulated by a series of pheromones. Replacement of a queen termite is produced within a week from its absence. In termites also, more than one queen is produced, and as soon as the first queen comes out, the workers eat away the remaining developing queens. So this was the topic on the pheromones of social insects. And as you can see in the end of this slide, in the photograph, the next topic will be the scent marking in vertebrates, which I will do under the lecture Pheromones 5. So thank you until then, and meet you in the 5th lecture of pheromones.